to the channel, and we appreciate your spending time with us today. It is not negative 12 degrees this time, so we're much happier, aren't we, Busy?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing. We're getting our Texas spring, and then it's gonna be summer, so we're gonna get out here while we can. We're gonna talk about the Quantico HiCap. Before we do that, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for all the comments. Some guy said, I didn't know Johnny Bravo reviewed guns. I love it. I'm wearing a hat now. Thank you. You got me all self-conscious. This is Super Duper Mega Ultron Biased Review number 3. And, you know, I'm just gonna get this right out of the way. Everybody is biased. In some way, shape, or form, we've all got biases. I am just super honest about mine, and I appreciate you spending time with me to listen to my biased opinion on things. But today we have the Quantico HiCap. We just talked about a few weeks ago the Quantico singlestack, which is from Alchemy Custom Weaponry. And yes, I work for Alchemy Custom Weaponry. If you contact us, you're gonna be contacting me. And we talked about the singlestack and how much I love this gun. Well, Hell froze over more than Texas, because not only did we get a railed single stack, we got a railed double stack out of Rob Shawlin. So this is just like, I am so happy. I don't know, I'm like a pig in mud right now. Like this is amazing to have this gun sitting here. So we talked about the single stack. Go take a look at that. Today, the HiCap. If you're not familiar with what a HiCap is, it's really, I mean, it's a 2011. So back in the 90s, STI, they took, the company formerly known as STI, they're now Staccato. They took the 1911 format, they changed the lower of the gun, made it a 2-piece lower. You have your frame rail, or your frame rail and your upper portion, and then the grip, which is a second module that goes on that allows high cap or double stack magazines. I'm looking around for them. Here we go. Here's one. So this gun right here is essentially a 1911, but it's a 2011 style gun, because it has twice the capacity. Well, yeah, a little more than twice the capacity. This is a 20 round mag. We have 17 round mags for this. But anyway, long story short, actually it's still a long story. They made it in the 90s, the patent's expired, so now lots of people can make 2011s, and so you're gonna see more and more people making double stack 1911s, and hallelujah, praise the Lord, because this right here is my favorite gun. I daily carry a 2011, and now that Alchemy makes a 2011 in the form of the Alchemy Quantico HiCap, I am daily carrying this gun. Let's get into it, because this is kind of a love letter right here. Starting with the top of the gun, the finish is a bead blast blue. So normally when you're gonna look at 2011s, you're gonna see diamond light carbon, which I like. We will do diamond light carbon as an upgrade. You'll see a lot of nitride. So this right here, this is my Tri-11 from Triarch. It's also a 2011. This is a nitrided gun. Nothing wrong with those finishes. But bead blast blue is so unique because it's you know, old school bluing, but on the bead blast finish, it looks almost identical to the Nero, and I talked about this before, which is a bead blast DLC. But this finish, it's not crazy durable, and I like that because it's gonna have some wear marks that are gonna come in it. You're gonna get holster wear, you know, it's gonna get dinged, and that's kind of part of the beauty of having a blued gun. I actually just recently got a 1903 pocket hammerless that was made in 1904. It's all original, and all the bluing is pretty much gone, but the metal itself has created this patina. So it's not rusting, but it's got a patina on it. The small parts are niter blued, and I'm just telling you, blued guns as they age, they get prettier. So I love blued guns, but also bead blast blue is nice because if you want it to look real nice and stay pretty, if you ever get any scratches on it, you can hit it with some cold blue. I think I forgot, it's 4470, I think is the actual cold blue that you use. You put it on there, wipe it off, and it will take some of the scratches off the surface scratches real easy, so you can keep it looking nice. But bead blast blue, love the finish. Coming up to the front, you have our the reverse crown flush cut barrel. So the whole barrel is black. It's on the standard gun, it's actually a ceramic coating, so Cerakote, if you will, it's actually turned out to be really durable. On the Quantico HiCap, I've got, I don't know, I'm probably near 1,000 rounds. I haven't shot a lot because it's 45, but but I'm in the 800 round range, and the barrel still looks practically brand new. So this coating is actually holding up really well, and that has to do with the fact that prepping the barrel and prepping the upper lugs, and I don't know what the term is for them on the inside of the slide. I think it's also the lugs, but the way those interface, if they're not scratching and they're filed down and smooth, you're not going to scratch as much. So normally on other guns, other 1911s with black barrels, you'll see it scratch off real easy. This has held up very, very nice. So black barrel, all hand fit. So the cool thing about this gun, and I'm kind of all over the place, but the cool thing about it is it's a 2011 that doesn't look like a 2011. So, you know, double stacks, all the time you're gonna see them, they're gonna look like this. And Chris at Triarch, you know, I know you were friends, and I love your gun, but it's different because, you know, the front cocking serrations, all the different, you know, full length rail, full length dust cover, that's kind of normal in the 2011 world. So to have a short dust cover on a 5-inch gun, this is a government gun, we're not making a Commander right now. Not saying it won't happen in the future, but it probably won't happen in the future, so don't hold your breath. But it's a 5-inch gun with a standard length dust cover, just like on the single stack. There is the stirrup cut, and the stirrup cut meets the dust cover perfectly, so those are actually cut, you know, identically to match, so that matches up really well. But the looks on the gun, if you didn't know instinctively that it was a double stack, you'd look at this and just think, oh, that's a railed single stack 1911. And that's what, for me, is intrinsically so cool. It's like, not everybody is doing the old school stuff. So this gun here is gonna stand out quite a lot, and I like things that stand out. So, Bead Blast Blue, you're gonna notice on the slide something that is almost sacrilege. If you know Rob Shawland, there is a red dot, and this red dot is mounted to the Cabot mount. It looks similar to the Trijicon Mount, but when we were looking at the way the Trijicon Mount mounted to a 1911, we realized that there were certain things about it that were good for the dots, but not necessarily focused on the function of a 1911 and 2011. So this mount moves the hood back. So if you have an SRO, the hood isn't over the ejection port. Now I know with the Trijicon Mount like here, normally you're gonna see the SRO hood jutting out over the ejection port, and people don't have issues, but it's nice to get it as far back as you can. Also, we've made it as low as possible. So the mounting deck for the red dot is as low as you can possibly get. We moved some of the screw holes around so that they're not actually punching through where the extractor tunnel is, which happens sometimes on the Trijicon one. And then when you come around to the back, there's no tritium, which just boggles my mind. You know, I know Trijicon makes tritium sights, but putting tritium in the backup sights, because the backup sights are for backup, putting the tritium dots, it's extra, you don't need it. And you know, on here we've got the red fiber front, but I'm gonna tell you right now, just get a black front post. Like, you don't need the fiber optic tall sight, get black, because these are just backup sights. So basically we took all of the things that we've seen from other mounts and said, let's make this the lowest, most purpose-driven mount for red dots that's possible. So it fits the RMR SRO footprint and or Holosun's, no others at this time. Also, I get this question. God, this is becoming like a commercial, but I'm the sales guy, so it's a review, but it's a commercial. Deal with it. No, we do not have a plate. So if you take the dot off, we don't have like a replacement plate, okay, in order to run the gun without a dot, without that flat part there, because that doesn't make sense to me, okay? If I'm getting a gun with a dot, I'm always gonna run the gun with the dot. In fact, I don't really carry guns unless it's like my barbecue piece, which, you know, it's gonna be a real nice Cabot or an Alchemy Prime Elite. I don't carry guns without dots. So dots just stay on my guns. The idea of switching back and forth sounds like a horrible plan. I know other people do it, but I would just never take a dot off a gun. It's a dot gun, it's gonna have a dot. So anyway, we don't have a different mounting solution for that. Moving down to the frame, same thing as on the single stack. We have the Quantico style ledge slide stop, and I'm gonna do this again. I know some of y'all got hurt the last time I did it, and you're gonna have to get hurt again. I'm only doing this once, so get used to it. So we have a nice little ledge here on this slide stop. which for single stacks is great. For double stacks, it's greater for me because I cannot get my thumb to that no matter what, unless I totally break my grip, and then coming back around is even more difficult. So when I come up, having this ledge, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert the mag, and I'm not gonna do it because I got some rounds here. Insert the mag, come around, and then do that, and I'm back on it. I know you're in pain because we're not supposed to do that, but relax, it was one time, the gun's fine. So we have that ledge there, which makes it nice. Moving down to the grip, this is a polymer grip module, and it's got the double diamond look, which I just think is part of what sets this off and makes it look very similar to the single stack. I mean, when you look at them side by side, the checkering pattern's a little different on the grips, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the same looking gun. So moving down to the grips, double diamond, old school. It's polymer. If you want to go get it, you know, what do they do with the soldering iron? Stippled. So when they stipple, if you want to get it stippled, go ahead and do that. It won't hurt our feelings. On the front, we have actually rounded this out so that it looks more like a standard 1911 trigger guard. So it's a round trigger guard. Most of y'all are going to have a light on here. Quick note, on our rail frames, they accept the X300U-B, not the A. So if you're getting an X300, get the B for it. This gun lives with a light most of the time. However, if I'm carrying it appendix like this, I don't have a light on it. This is a Tenacor Certum holster. This is a holster that I use for carrying double stacks. So we have the rounded trigger guard here. Trigger itself, this is gonna be a standard polymer trigger. It's a medium length. If you wanna replace it with something else, go to a gunsmith, get it done. But this trigger feel, I'm gonna tell you, it is I measured it 3¼ pounds, and it is just the most tactile. And I mean, honestly, it is just money every single time. The reset, super tactile. And I know in the past I've said I like flat triggers like on the Quantico single stack, but this trigger is perfect. Honestly, this trigger is perfect for me, so I love it. Getting around to the thumb safety. So it comes standard with an ambi thumb safety. Now, when you're looking at the back of the thumb safety, if you look at the paddles, if you're a righty, what we're gonna do is the left-handed paddle is gonna be a little bit wider. So as you're getting on it, the left paddle is wider because that's where your right thumb rides, and the right paddle is a little bit thinner so it's not hitting your knuckle. Because if you're, if you're a lefty, reverse. So just let us know if you're a righty or a lefty. Because if you're a lefty, if you have the wider paddle on the left side, it's not gonna be as nice. It actually kind of hits your hand there. So let us know if you're a righty or a lefty, and we'll shave down the proper side of the ambi safety for you, which I think is a cool little thing that happens. Moving down to the mag release, or the mag catch. The mag catch is threaded, so you can put your, extra paddle thing on there, the extended one. In fact, it's gonna come with a round, the old school, it's from the 90s, the STI style round mag release. I take it off because that paddle is just too big, so it's on there. Rob has threatened to Loctite it on there with red Loctite. I don't think that's gonna happen, so you might just be able to take it off and Loctite it if you want it to stay on there or not. But for me personally, I take it off because I don't need that extra. Now, this gun is awesome. It feels like it's on hydraulics, like just the way it operates. And 1911s, it's got an amazing frame to slide fit. I mean, it is just unbelievably tight, because it's all hand filed and hand lapped. But the thing about 1911s is there's a portion of the recoil that's managed by the recoil spring, but a big portion of it, or a larger portion I should say, and this is just from Rob, so I'm being a parrot, but I can tell you from personal experience, I felt the difference. The main spring and the firing, not the firing pin, it's the firing pin stop. The shape of the firing pin stop. So just the way that the angle's been put on the firing pin stops, because they're all fit in there, the weight on the mainspring, it's a little bit heavier mainspring. What it does is when the round goes off, and it's starting to come back. It just puts almost like a little bit of a delay on it and slows it down. So it's not gonna be coming back quite so, you know, fast as it would with, you know, a normal 1911 with a standard profile firing pin stop. So I mean, all these little things come together to make a badass hand-built 2011 that starts in the mid-3s, okay? Which is high if you're talking about normal guns, but to be, you know, this quality, the amount of craftsmanship and time that goes into each one of these guns at that price range, I'm gonna tell you right now, this gun is hot. I love the Quantico HiCap. People can't stop talking about it. And this one has one specific feature that I have to mention before we end, and it is lasered with don't drop at the bottom of the mag, at the bottom of the grip and at the mag well on both sides. And it's because the last time I came out with Quantico single stack, there's a little bit of damage on the sight because it fell while it was being, you know, in the process of doing things. I didn't drop it, but it fell, and the sight got dinged up, and I told the guys at the shop about it. So now we have a running total of how many days it's been since Nick has dropped the gun, and I think I'm in like the 60-day range right now, but I'm reminded every time I pick up this gun not to drop it. So Quantico HiCap, go to the website, you're gonna see lead times are just stinking long. Things are crazy right now. Plus, you know, we don't make a lot of these guns, so it's not like they just come off an assembly line. Each one's hand built. It takes forever to make each one of them. So go there, get in line, and hopefully by the time yours is ready, Biden has not banned HiCap magazines. So get on it, Quantico HiCap. This was a love letter commercial, but I don't care. Thanks for watching.